In the deal struck between the Prime Minister and the two independents, Tony Windsor and Rob Oakeshott, regional areas will get priority over metropolitan areas in the rollout of the national broadband network. Tony Windsor said it was a key factor in his decision to back the Labor government. Regional areas will also receive $10 billion in funding for education and hospitals. While some in the seats of Lyne and New England are disappointed with the independents' decision, many businesses have welcomed the promises from the government. Robbie Sefton is the Director of Communications and Marketing firm Sefton and Associates. She moved the business to Tamworth in the seat of New England almost a decade ago. Robbie Sefton joins us in the studio now in Sydney. Thanks for being here.
Thank you, Vicky.
What will a national broadband network mean for your business?
Well, it'll give us probably more reach and more access. Our business is based, as you said, in Tamworth, but we've got team members right across Australia, mainly in rural and regional Australia. Our clients are all based in Sydney, Canberra and Melbourne, so they're mainly metro-based, large corporate and government organisations that need to reach rural and regional Australia with their messages, products or services. So our job is to communicate them to our rural audiences. One of the challenges we find is that, yes, you can get access to the internet, probably in most places in Australia, but speed's the most important thing. And so for us, it's actually being able to have faster speed to actually get those products or services, particularly training, that type of thing, web-based training or even communication tools, out to areas who may have farmers in them or even just rural and regional communities.
Under your current internet connection, are you prevented from doing lots of things that you would like to do, and what are some of the examples of those?
Well, we're not really prevented from doing it, Bridget, but we're not really given the freedom to really explore other opportunities. So for us, we've got 3 creative teams around the country, 2 in Sydney and 1 in Perth, and we have large files that we need to share regularly, large be them TV files or media, that type of thing. And sometimes it's a challenge to actually get them down the line, so to speak. So that to actually make it faster and more efficient and more costly would be fantastic. But again, for our clients who want to be delivering important services to our clients, being farmers particularly. And we talked about training, so that's an example. So a lot of places, particularly on stations or in isolated areas, they're still using satellite, so it's slow and clunky. They don't have the confidence to use it. So what we need is for everyone to have the confidence and freedom to be able to do learning, to actually upgrade their business skills or even just personal skills. I think the internet's vital for running successful businesses.
Has it been something that you know that's prevented businesses from expanding or moving to regional areas without having that broadband network, that infrastructure?
I don't know whether there's actually evidence I can show that people haven't moved, but what we do see regularly is that people aren't confident with it. So a perception with a lack of confidence means often not a lot of outcomes. So our business, for instance, absolutely relies heavily on it, and we need all of our teams on it, and often we're travelling in the bush and often out west, or could be in Alice Springs or on isolated cattle stations or properties anywhere throughout Australia. So we really need to be able to rely on reliable and efficient and fast systems.
Julia Gillard said that the wholesale access price in rural areas would be the same in the city and the country. If this doesn't happen, can businesses afford this new network?
It's critical that it's the same, and why wouldn't it? So I can't see any reason why it shouldn't be the same. So if the government's fair dinkum about putting broadband infrastructure into rural and regional Australia at the same efficiency and effectiveness as our urban cousins, then it needs to be at the same price. And I think that is critical. And the other thing for rural and regional Australia, the backbone of that is small business. So, and we need small business and we need population in rural and regional Australia. So broadband in many ways is our key infrastructure tool. Without it, then really, I think that we need to ask that question, do we all want to live within a 100k radius of the coast? No, we don't. There is an opportunity to increase population in major centres and in rural and regional Australia.
Do you think it will create opportunities? Do you think that you'll see more businesses set up?
Absolutely, yes. I absolutely do. And there is no reason why you can't run any business that's in the city, in the bush these days, particularly with the internet. So particularly service businesses. So businesses like mine, like we moved our business to the bush when it was really hard to do.
And you were based in Sydney and then you decided to move to a regional area.
That's right. And in fact, we actually moved to Coonabarabran, which was in the Warrumbungles. And when we moved there, the internet was really only just happening, and we had 2 lines going into the farm that were so crackly and totally non-existent. So but we really worked hard at going through all the stages of the internet, and it's been critical for our business. So. But it's not just about businesses moving from the city into the bush. It's actually enabling country businesses, be them farms or be them small business in towns or regional centres, to actually expand their business opportunity. And it gives, particularly farmers' wives or other farmers, the opportunity to have another business on top of their existing business.
Robbie Sefton, we'll leave it there. Good luck, and thanks for joining Lateline Business tonight.
Thanks so much.